always have a problem saying her name. Eugenia Cooney. Cooney. I made a video about her months and months ago, and I never released it because I edit these videos and I save them all for and I release a new video every however long. But I really didn't get a chance to say, what I really, not that it's, that's the thing is I don't feel I have a right to, I don't feel that anybody has any sort of right to her personal or private life. And I also think that she's a very sweet girl. She means no harm. She's not trying to influence anybody. This video is in no way me trying to kick her down or hate her, because I had an eating disorder, a very, very bad eating disorder at one point, and you'll already hear me talk about this in the video, but I just wanted to point out the similarities and caution girls to maybe not look at it. I don't think Eugenia is trying to be triggering at all. She's just trying to talk to people, continue to make money. People that really do have eating disorders don't want to publicly talk about it. They really don't. That's the true sign of somebody with an eating disorder, and I would know that because that's how it was for me. I never wanted to talk about it. I still don't like talking about eating disorders because it's such a soft, sensitive subject for me. Coming from a place of where that is, I just wanted to make a video showing some similarities. I'm not trying to poke fun at Eugenia or anything like that. I think she's a very, very, very sweet girl. She's beautiful, and I hope that she's happy, and I think she's trying to wish any harm on people, and I know I'm just adding another video out there on YouTube that doesn't need to be there, but from my perspective as somebody that had an eating disorder, I'm just pointing out similarities. It's not something you want. I would not wish it on my worst enemy. I would not wish it on my worst enemy. It's not her fault she's going through this. I think we need to stop talking about it and just be positive, be there for her, and if somebody is going through this, I wouldn't suggest cornering them and making them feel like the victim, like they did something wrong, or putting them on the spot. It is very awkward for them. I didn't want to not release this video because I think it might sort of help shine some light on people that might be going through this, and you just watch the video. I just realized this is exactly how I wore my hair when I was a scene girl. Yep. I'm pretty sure I did one eye slightly different than the other. I look 17 again. This video is going to be on people hating on Eugenia Cooney. Eugenia Cooney. Eugenia Cooney. Eugenia Cooney. Okay. God damn it. Am I having a stroke? I don't know. I've known about this girl for a long time. I mean, a lot of people give her shit and she never wants to talk about her eating disorder if that's what she has. And she shouldn't have to. She should not have to. I mean, it's her business. But when you put yourself out there again to a certain extent, it becomes other people's business because you're a public figure. You're a public figure. I mean, anybody should be able to be themselves and make videos and stream live without people constantly giving them shit. If we stopped doing the things that we enjoy doing because of our problems, nobody would be doing anything. You know what I mean? I mean, it's also other people's right, too, to comment when they see certain red flags or whatever. But I think just to the extent and the extremity of her situation, that is why it's discerning. I don't think she should be kicked off YouTube or stop being able to do what she wants. But I also think that it's people's rights to comment as they wish. I don't believe in censorship. I don't. And I also know, too, if we all walked around like everything was okay, that would be wrong, too. I know if someone's fucked up on drugs on YouTube, no one would be cool with that. The whole reason I'm making this video is because I noticed some eerie similarities of how I handled myself in regards to people asking me about my weight or my eating disorder, because I don't think many of you knew that I had an eating disorder when I was 9 and 10 years old, and I had it on and off. It was nearly not as bad as Eugenia Cooney's. I had an eating disorder from about 9 or 10 years old till maybe for a good decade. And I don't just mean I'm one of those people that's ever only has it for a month or two, and I was hospitalized multiple times for it and had to get treatment my whole life for it. Oh yeah, I noticed some eerie similarities in regards to how I handled myself when people were asking me about it, and my level of denial, and also a few other things. There are a few other things I noticed about her that are very similar to how I was when I had an eating disorder. I feel like it does really, really affect her mental state and her capacity. I know when I was going through an eating disorder, and I'm completely the most comfortable, not awkward person, but it was super awkward for me. I didn't want to have to talk about it or admit it or make other people think that I was weird or that something was wrong. I just wanted to carry on how I was. I didn't want people to push the issue on me. So a lot of people would not bring it up, or they would dance around the issues. And whenever my friends did bring it up, I know I handled it in a very similar way to Eugenia. I might not have said like as much, but
It's like, because I think that, like, I know, like, I might have, like, some products or whatever that maybe have, like animal, like some animal products, I don't know, that, or whatever, because I wouldn't, because, you know, I don't want to be like, because sometimes it's weird. I've even had, like, times in videos where, like, at least, like, I don't know, sometimes there's been, I think there was a time with, like, a makeup video, you know, I feel like, yeah, like, I love animals. I think animals are great, so, yeah. Oh, good night, Cora!
I didn't understand why people were so concerned about it. I liked my body, and I wanted them to leave me alone and stop telling me that I needed to gain weight because it was annoying to me, and I felt like they were trying to sabotage me or be mean to me or something like that. I also didn't want to appear annoying or stupid for having that problem, because I felt like a lot of girls would find me weird or stupid for having that problem, and I didn't want anybody to hate me. I know from experience, you know, in middle school, and that people will say something, and I was not even nearly as bad as Eugenia, but I know from experience people will say something. And that's why when you go through that, you keep everything relatively under wraps. You know, you keep your personal life very, very private. Yeah, so I was not even as bad as Eugenia, and I didn't have as many followers. I didn't have a platform. But also, too, I think if people just walked around all delusional and didn't say anything or fed into it, people would think that it's okay and that you get lots of attention and love and views for being that way. At least extremely young and impressionable viewers might think that, you know, and it could only make the problem could grow. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's everybody's responsibility for themselves. And yeah, when I was going through that, a lot of people started to treat me differently and outcast me. And during the end stages of my eating disorder, that's when I finally decided that I needed to get over this, because it was affecting my life and interfering and making me lose friends. And I kind of felt like an outcast. So it was people, in a sense, hating me that made me realize that what I was doing wasn't normal. And what I was doing wasn't really even anything to that extent. You know, although I had to have the freedom to grow and figure it out on my own. But I don't think people should hate her. And I don't think that people do hate her. I just think it's natural, because I know I was treated that way too. And it seems like everybody with a problem like that is treated like that. Whenever somebody mentions something about her weight or whatever, the first thing she says is, you know, if you hate me, you don't have to watch me. And I know that's some of the thoughts I immediately thought, you know, whenever somebody would bring that up to me, like, well, you know, are you fucking hating on me? Like, what's your problem? Why are you being so rude? I mean, and in a way, she's right, but asking if you're okay and, you know, are you going through an eating disorder? That is not hating somebody. I thought people would be trying to hate me or get me to eat, gain weight. And I was like, no, it's definitely one of the main red flags. And two, like, I know she would so quickly admit to, like, no, I don't do this, or I don't have that. But when somebody asks her about her eating disorder, she knows in her heart, and she can't lie about that. So she avoids it instead of just saying no, because I don't think she could lie. I think it would be very awkward and very obvious if she said no, you know what I mean? So she just instead avoids the topic completely. But another thing I noticed, and again, like, this was something I really, 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 really noticed. This was what made me want to make this video, was having an eating disorder makes you frozen or stuck in a state. Like, you don't mature. You hide yourself off from the world in a sense. It's almost like it made me feel more immature. Although I was a very, very intelligent girl, I felt behind in a lot of ways because my mind was so focused on my eating disorder, and it also wasn't nourished properly. And also, too, I had OCD. You know, it could have been from the eating disorder, I don't know, but I was going through OCD around the same time that I had suffered from an eating disorder. It's oftentimes why my brain would be stuck in patterns and wouldn't branch outside of them because it was like a safe thing. Like I didn't want to be anxious, so I would stick to saying the same thing, doing the same thing, not wanting to, like, I don't know, it was very methodical patterns, but my brain was stuck in this safe bubble almost. And I see a lot of similar patterns with her. You know, I've only been on one of her live streams, but I've seen a lot of them on YouTube, and I've seen her videos, and a lot of what she says is redundant. She doesn't ever get too deep, and granted, I don't know her personally, and I cannot judge because who the fuck am I? But I did notice somebody commented this recently, and I was like, okay, I'm not the only one that notices this because I notice really intricate things sometimes. Somebody commented, her vocabulary and topics are so limited and repetitive, hard to imagine she will be 23 soon. And that actually made me think and sparked me up to make this video, or perhaps connect the dots, because I don't know if it's that she's walking on eggshells or she's sitting in this safe zone, but it's almost like she still has the brain of a 14-year-old. And I know when I had an eating disorder, my brain was still sort of stuck in middle school. And a lot of my friends were getting their period and wanting to go to clubs and kiss boys, and I could never get into the clubs because I looked so much younger. And, you know, I was like mad underdeveloped and everything like that. And a lot of my friends were, you know, maturing and doing other things, and I really wasn't. You know, I just, and it was because of my eating disorder and everything like that, for sure. And if you notice, a lot of YouTubers her age, and you'll get to know them on really deep levels, and they talk about all sorts of different aspects of their life, not just on a first impression surface level. I feel like a lot of Eugenia's videos are on just a first impression surface level layer, like this sort of.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So yeah. Sorry, a lot of people like, oh, thank you. I don't know, but yeah, I'm pretty much just like naturally like that.
And I'm in no way trying to hate on her. She's a sweet girl with no bad intentions. I am merely pointing out some things that resonate with me along those lines. And I was mostly 100% entirely free of my eating disorder when I was 18 years old. And I got my period super late because of it. And I can't imagine, because, you know, if Eugenia started having an eating disorder at like 14, 15, 16, she might have not ever gotten her period, you know? It's very likely. But yeah, that kept me immature for a little bit. Perhaps, you know, I don't know if this is the case, but a lot of girls with eating disorders are afraid to grow up. It's sort of like they're safe, protect. People hide in their problems a lot. They want to be safe and childlike. And you still can be. You don't have to lose that or lose yourself. You don't need an eating disorder to feel safe or to feel like you can still have a childlike essence. But the 22-year-old me is a lot different from the 22-year-old her. And I know that much. I was way different from her at 22. So and comparing other people that I know, other YouTubers I know that are 22, compared to the 22-year-old her, they are very different. Mentally, emotionally, and sure, everybody's different, you know what I mean? But if you look at Tana Mongeau, she's only 18, which I didn't know. Like, I thought she was 22. But no, compared to Eugenia, you see a huge difference in their mental and emotional maturity. And I know some of you are like, what? Tana Mojo? Well, I mean, you know, that might be a bad example, but just in sort of the way that they talk and live their life and carry themselves, their level of maturity seems different. You know, perhaps my theories are wrong and Eugenia is just Eugenia, but I know for a fact that when I had an eating disorder and I was going into high school, my maturity level was very different from all my other friends. I'm not trying to sit here and talk shit on Eugenia. I am just observing. I think she's very kind and very sweet, and she has a beautiful, cute face. I'm just seeing a lot of what I once struggled with in her. And I want to let every girl on here know that you don't need to be anorexic to be beautiful, to be loved, or even to love yourself. Don't need to be anorexic to be thin, even. You don't. An eating disorder was a huge waste of my childhood and my potential. And I regret all of the time and brain capacity I wasted on it, because I feel like sometimes I have to make up for lost time. I could have been honing my skills or my music skills, or even started my business much earlier. And although a lot of those dreams were already plotting in my head, they were limited because of my eating disorder and OCD. Although I don't regret it, it led me to where I am now. I still want to warn people, like, it's not cool. Pursue a million other things. There's so much to do and pursue and learn in life. Why would you waste that on an eating disorder? It's not fun. It's torturing yourself. Torturing yourself is not fun. And torturing yourself is not how you succeed in life or even lose weight, period. It will ultimately ruin your relationships and your potential. I do absolutely love to see Eugenia happy. It's a huge relief to me, in a sense. I like to see her happy and smiling in her videos, and I do hope she is okay and loves herself, and I wish her health. And I just want to let other people know that from my experience with this, that it is so stupid. It is not worth it. You don't need to have an eating disorder. This is not something you need to do in order to be loved or beautiful or even love yourself. You don't waste time and potential. You could be being a boss bitch and doing so much other stuff. I don't know. Alexa out.
And she rocks it.